Hey, Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. I can't see myself on the screen, so I don't know where I've vanished to. I hope you can see me. And yeah, welcome to another episode. So, can you see me? Can I have some feedback? What's going on? Oh my god. Apparently, I can share my screen. So, that's very interesting. Okay. Oh, I may as well show this. I'm going to share if you can see it actually. Sharing the screen. I just become aware that this film talks about asexuality. Slow is the first film to really understand asexuality. So yeah, take a look at this article. This is really good. Lithuanian film Slow centers on the romance between asexual interpreter and non-asexual dancer. So there we go. And I'm back now. So, yes, welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. So subscribe and hit the bell icon right now. So, how has my breakup been over the last month? So, it's now the 15th of May. I split up with my ex on the 15th of April. And I wanted to take this time to talk to you about how it's been for me. I just want to check everyone who's watching, can you see me on the screen? Because for me, my screen is blank black at the moment, so I can't see me talking. So I just have to accept that you can hear me. So, yes, I have to tell you, my life has changed for the better in the last month. So I have been going through a really difficult breakup, a very, very tough time. But how my life has changed for the better already is because I've left that relationship and I've come to realize that it's not my fault what went on in it, because I'm not responsible for them lying to me. I'm not responsible for them deceiving me. I'm not responsible for all the contradictions and confusion they caused in my life. And I'm not responsible for the manipulation stuff they were doing. And it took me a while to even understand what was going on. It's been very traumatic. And I have been doing lots of things to help myself to overcome this heartache and heartbreak. I still have feelings at the moment for the guy. They haven't gone, and they are less intense now. And I'm happier being single again, which is super, super good. I'm really pleased that I'm super happy being single again at last, right? So this is a really big deal for me. So as soon as the relationship ended on the 15th of April, I had to officially end it because he couldn't be asked to after he'd deceived and lied to me. So anyway, I officially ended it via text because he didn't really want to talk to me anyway. So I just made a clean break and said why. And obviously that I deserve better. And he pretty much forced me into like doing that anyway. But I had been telling him that I was unhappy in the relationship and letting him know directly my needs, which originally he was matching and then changed his behavior and attitude and didn't match them. So anyway, the day that I actually left that relationship was the day I published Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual, 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life in the digital Kindle edition on Amazon. I then published it on the 16th of April and it became an international bestseller. It hit #1 in hot new releases, both on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. And over the course of that week, the first 4 days, it became a bestseller in multiple categories on both Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. Someone who is on my Facebook friends list was like, did you manage to do that? Like, publish your book and get it to bestseller status, considering the event or recent events. And I'm like, yeah, and I said I actually wrote the book before, because this book was written at a time in my life last year, although it's very relevant to current situation. But you know, I did all the book blurb, I did the cover, I did the description, I did the keywords, all this like type of thing after I split up with him. So, you know, it's absolutely amazing what I achieved during that time, you know, absolutely incredible what I achieved. And so I'm really, really proud of myself for achieving that, you know, because it's hard when you're in emotional turmoil and struggle. So that's the first like major thing that was amazing that happened in my life as soon as I split up with him. So it just goes to show you that I'm more successful on my own. And I joined more recently, I joined something called Love Life Club with Matthew Hussey. So I bought Matthew Hussey's Love Life book and I attended his training that went with this book, live training, which was how to find your person. And I attended that event and then I just knew that I had to join his Love Life Club. So I've joined Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Matthew Hussey is a top dating relationship coach. He is originally from England and now lives with his wife in America. But he has over 3 million subscribers. And I had my first Q&A session in the Love Life Club right last week. So I've paid for a whole year's subscription up front because of this breakup. I thought I have to learn. It was so painful, this breakup, but I have to learn dating and relationship skills more because I'm clearly lacking. And the more I know, the more I can help you on this channel. I'm not allowed to reveal the content of the Love Life Club. It is copyrighted. But obviously I'm gaining a lot more skills and knowledge that I'm going to be using in my own life to drive better relationships forward and to help myself. So I'm not saying that everything in that past relationship was the fault of the person I was with, but I did have coaching last week, live coaching in the Love Life Club from Matthew Hussey and his wife, 1-to-1 in front of a group. It's group coaching. I was being careful not to get starstruck because this is a guy that's been famous for like 17 years. So, but I feel so good that I joined this club. I'm learning so much. It's got courses in there. There's a breakup course that I'm going through. And Matthew gives you practical skills towards relationships, like really breaks down things like the reality versus the romanticism. And obviously, as a hyper romantic asexual, I do tend to romanticize things a lot. It's not just me who does that. It seems a lot of us do that in life in general, especially women have a tendency to. But a lot of us do it because of all the movies and stuff like that. So it's very important that we understand the reality versus the romantic story we're telling ourselves. And you know, I'm learning so much in the Love Life Club. It's just incredible. The community there is phenomenal. I've made the best investment this year in myself I could possibly make. The whole 12 months, you know, I know that I'm changing my life. I'm changing myself. I'm determined this time, with all this pain I've been through, that I'm changing for the better. That's it. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. I've come off dating sites. I'm not active on dating sites. I have still got a profile on Badoo because I reactivated the free premium edition because I was going to lose it. And I've checked in with there twice. I haven't spoke to anyone, messaged anyone. I've just seen that my account's reactivated in case I want to use it in the future. But I'm off dating sites. You know, I'm not active on dating sites anymore. With Facebook dating, I deleted. I'm not on other ones. I don't want to be on dating sites anymore. Like official, you know, active on them. I still on some asexual sites. I still run 3 asexual dating groups, right? But I don't want to be doing that because I'm purposely detoxifying myself from the dopamine hit you get through dating. I've been online dating for 10 years and I no longer want to be doing that because this year as well, I broke out in rashes all over my body before my past, you know, this recent relationship breakup. And I had rashes and spots and lumps on my body. And it was really, really difficult for me, you know? And so I thought, I do not want to be having stress. I worked out a lot of it's stress. And I just think that I need to sort my immune system out and my sympathetic nervous system. I need to make it relaxed. And I think being on the dating scene on dating sites is just making my sympathetic nervous system go off and react against itself, and I can't be dealing with it anymore. I need to de-stress. So I'm purposely changing my life. So all the time I spent doing, like online dating, I'm now taking it more easier on myself. I've got new habits. So every morning now I'm listening to Bob Baker affirmations on YouTube. So check him out. He's absolutely fantastic guy. It's Bob Baker affirmations, meditations. So I'm doing that every morning as a morning practice now, or whenever I wake up, if I wake up later. I'm doing some writing, some of it's going in future books, others is just writing for me. And I've done like a list of outstanding tasks and everyday ongoing tasks that I need to do. So I'm getting much more organized. I'm on this channel, obviously, streaming all the time again now, pretty much nearly every night, which is really good. Got shorts videos for me. I'm growing this channel. I'm growing my Make Money, Make Cash channel, and things are really good. I'm selling stuff as well. I've sold an item that I had that I want to get rid of on Vinted. So I'm starting to declutter my home as well. So this is really good for me. And being in the Love Life Club is amazing. Like last week when I did have one-to-one coaching with Matthew and his wife, I did get really tearful, but I had a lot of support from the community in there. Tonight, I should say, I had online coaching as well from him and his wife. I wasn't on live video this time. It was from my message that I sent. And I asked them, I said, like, how can you know what's your fault in a relationship so that you can get over your ex and move on and also improve yourself for a new relationship if the guy lied to you, deceived you, was contradictory, and seemed to have manipulated you? Like, how can you know what your fault? And they're like, well, you can't, because you can't trust the word of that person. And they blurred your reality. So you don't know what was the truth and what wasn't the truth. And so they're basically like a bad actor. And so you'll never know. So you can't take their word for it at all. So they were saying that if you have any thing you want to like find out about yourself, like whether you're healthy or not, it's better to go to people who are actually healthy and ask them about certain scenarios, like to get their feedback, because that's much more reliable and trustworthy. You can't trust the word of someone who's not trustworthy, who's deceived and lied to you and manipulated, bladed all your reality, because you don't know what's the truth and what isn't. Because I've been struggling with that. First of all, I was blaming myself, which I don't blame myself anymore, because I'm not responsible for my ex lying to me. I'm not responsible for my ex deceiving me. I'm not responsible for his contradictions and his things that didn't make sense. What I am responsible for is anything in the relationship that was my responsibility. But as I can't trust his word because he's a liar, then I don't know what was my fault in the relationship and what wasn't, because you can't trust the word of someone who's not honest, right? So I don't know. But what I do know that I need to do, and what is my responsibility and fault, if you like, is the fact that there were things that weren't good, like the lying, and I obviously stayed in that relationship probably longer than I should have done, because I would not usually stay with a liar. I wouldn't even usually get with a liar in the first place. And and the red flags and the other stuff, I guess my responsibility was, I actually ignored my own advice. So I should never have ignored my own advice, but I did. I don't have regrets in the sense I don't believe in having regrets, because if you have regrets in life, it's a waste of your life and time. So I don't believe in having regrets. I don't regret trying to have a relationship with that guy. In the beginning, it in the beginning he was behaving, I was going to say he's behaving well towards me, but he was still a liar in the beginning, and I forgave him for lying. But usually I wouldn't tolerate any lies. A guy lies a little bit and I'd be him out the door, and I wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd be like, I'm not interested. You lie about one thing, you lie about anything, I'm off. But I didn't with that guy, right? And I ignored my own advice. Okay. So, I hold my hands up. Really not perfect. And I did do that. So that's my responsibility, if you like. And I was unhappy and I thought I'd go to him and he would help, but obviously that wasn't the case in the end. So you could argue that I should have left sooner rather than later. So there are things on my side. Oh, for me personally, I need to work on why I'm attracting these type of guys that aren't good or healthy for me, and are not telling the truth, right? So I've got stuff that I need to work on, but I believe I need to obviously work on more relationship skills and stuff like that as well. So that's why I'm in Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club. The great news is he's coming to London in July the 18th. So I've got to go and see him for the Love Life Club. All the people in the Love Life Club can go and see him. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So I've got to get my back better before then, because my back's been damaged. So yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm seeing a homeopath for my health. I'm trying to, like, help my mental health. I've been doing, like, I've been very productive as much as I can, but I'm also giving myself time out. Like, if I get really upset, which I have been, then, I'm giving myself time out. I haven't been so upset this week. Like, one of the best things I did was getting out of my comfort zone and going to Exeter Pride. So, this is how my life is changing already. I'm a international best-selling author with Diary Confessions book, number one hot new release in both Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. I'm actually changing myself for the better. I'm detoxing from dating, relationships, and love on dating sites, that type of thing. So that's really good. Join Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club. Actually having practical courses, practical relationship and dating advice in the courses I'm taking with him. It's incredible. I'm not allowed to reveal stuff that's copyrighted to him, right? But the stuff I'm learning is high level relationship stuff that I've never seen been taught anywhere else. I haven't seen it. I'm learning from a dating relationship coach that's got 17 years of experience. So by the time, like in 12 months' time, what do you think my knowledge and expertise is going to be like? It's going to be through the roof. I'm going to be such a better person and such a better knowledge. But obviously, knowledge is nothing without application. So, I need to be applying some of this stuff. I need to be learning and growing, So it's very important that when you have knowledge, you apply it. You don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. So it's repetition, So, I'm happier being single now. My emotions have calmed down a lot. When I went to Exeter Pride, I happened to end up talking to a trainee therapist I was explaining some of the stuff my ex was like, and they couldn't make sense of it either. Like the contradictions, it just doesn't make sense. So, that's been like an eye-opener for me. It's been really interesting. I'm not responsible for them lying. I'm not responsible for their deception. That's their behavior. That's on them. That's not on me. So, no one can make someone do that. They're already doing that at the beginning of our relationship lying. So you could have argued, like, why didn't I just leave them there and then? Right? Because I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to, like, forgive them. I wanted to, like, but usually I wouldn't tolerate that type of thing. So for me personally, like, it's been a really hard few weeks. This last week has been better for me. But, I feel like through this pain is going to be a lot more gain for me. I wouldn't have changed or be changing myself unless this had happened. Everything happens for a reason, I believe. And I believe I was meant to be with this guy temporarily, and this was meant to happen so that I would learn from it and grow from it and become a better person and change myself in my life to actually live into my future better self, So I just really happy to be single again. And, instead of focusing on the good aspects that I had with him, because there were good aspects, there were a number of good aspects that I could go into. Like at the beginning, he was really empathetic. He was really kind and caring. We got on really well. We were laughing and joking. We enjoyed each other's company. We had fun out, all those type of things, right? Very attracted to each other. Very good at, very compatible in terms of kissing and stuff like that. Very extremely compatible like that, Had good chemistry in that way. Was attracted to each other. I could go on and on, but there's also the downside, right? And the downside reality is the lying, the deception, the not knowing where I stand with him, the unreliability, the disrespect of myself and my time, the contradictions, the seemingly manipulation stuff he was doing, and lots of other stuff. And so the reality of the situation was that. And so you have to, like, give yourself a reality check. And now I'm feeling so much better because I'm seeing all the benefits of being single again. Like less stress. A lot of the stress is gone. The anxiety's gone. Not all of the anxiety is gone because I've got an anxiety condition, but I was experiencing extreme stress and anxiety whilst with him, to the point where I was keeled over on the bed in pain and couldn't function properly because I just didn't know where I stood with the person. They were contradictory. You know what I mean? One minute really into me, the next minute not, change their attitude and behavior. And you know what I mean? And it wasn't good. They shut down, wouldn't speak to me. And you can't have someone like in a relationship where they just shut down and don't even communicate properly with you. You know what I mean? So I was really highly anxiety induced. I was got a stress rash. And when I think about the things that what have I lost? I've lost a deceptive person. I've lost a liar. I've lost someone who was like contradictory, someone who was up and down in their behavior. 1 minute really into me, the next minute not. I lost a person who disrespected me and my time. I lost a person who was manipulating me in some ways, and I got my life back, and I got a better life back because I'm able now to grow and progress myself and my life, and to look forward to the future more, and to be able to make more waves, and to be able to get on better with my life, be more organized, and sort things out in my life more, and do different things, If I'd have been with him, I wouldn't have been able to go to Exeter Pride, If I'd still been with him, I probably wouldn't even have a number one bestseller. Well, number one hot new release bestseller, and bestseller in multiple categories. Because I've been too anxiety induced to even probably carry on with my book, which is sad. I wouldn't be in this position now of being in the Love Life Club and having one-to-one coaching in a group setting, though, with Matthew Hussey, one of the biggest known dating and relationships coach in the world, with over 3 million subscribers. I mean, this is insane. Having live coaching with him, it's just insanely good, right? And being able to upskill myself, doing the courses, there's a lot of courses I've got to go through in 12 months. Seeing so many other women that have gone through difficult and challenging situations like I have. I'm not alone in this. There's a lot of women that are really high quality women that get treated badly by guys. To have guys that are not invested in them, that are non-committal, that are avoidant, are just not appreciating them, not respecting them enough, and all this lot, right? And these are high value women, right? It doesn't just happen to me. And so, it's really just so good to be in that community. There's challenges and all sorts of stuff. So I have a lot going for me. I was interviewed on Dr. Leica's radio show. It should be coming out soon. So that's incredible. That's another good thing. When I think about all the things I can do now as a single person again that I couldn't do before when I was in a relationship with him, how much more time I've got back, and how much time I've got now because I'm not on dating sites anymore, active on them anymore. I just think I'm so blessed. And it is hard because I'm trying to calm my nervous system down to something I've been used to for years. So it does take some getting used to. It takes some getting used to filling your days and hours. But I have got loads of stuff to do. I've got a backlog of stuff to do. But when you've been in an emotional state like I have, I'm really upset. You can't function properly. So you have to take a step back and grieve. I've had to grieve a lot, But I do realise there's traumas and triggers from the past that it's brought up that I also need to deal with. So I've still got quite a lot of shit to deal with, but I'm proud of myself for how far I've come. Now, how far I've come in this month has been incredible because I was in so much emotional upset and pain when I first split up with the guy. And even for most of the first 3 weeks. The first week was the hardest. Second week was really bad. Third week wasn't great. But the fourth week's been better. And, I've been away to London as well for my birthday. So I didn't I went to the zoo for my birthday, but I actually went to London for 4 days as well, which I probably wouldn't have done if I was in a relationship with him. Because I probably wouldn't have had the money to do all that. And I probably wouldn't have even thought about it, because I used to spend weekends with him. So instead of spending weekends with him, I spent it at a 2-day business seminar where I was appreciated, valued for my energy, valued for my loudness, valued for my talkative nature, valued because I show up on time or before time. I was around like-minded people. It was awesome for me. You know, I went to a theme park on my own. I went to the aquarium and on my own. You know, I could be, you know, I could have my peace, which is like high octane energy peace. You know, I could be happy. You know, I'm happier again now. Thank God I'm happier. You know, and I'm happy being single. I do love being single. I'm saying I love being single again now, which I wasn't saying before, because I did see the value in being in a relationship. But I realize at the moment I'm just happy being single again. I'm like, you've got your life back, Sandra. You've got all your hours, because I was eating into my work time hours for him, you know, which I was willing to do because I loved him. But at the end of the day, he didn't really appreciate that anyway. He just expected me to like be okay with him being late to video calls, disrespecting me in my time, totally unreliable, disorganized. I can't live like that, you know. And when I'm eating into my work time, I help asexuals. I've got a very important role, as my best friend reminds me. I have a very important role in this world, and that is to help you asexuals and anyone else on this channel, is to help asexuals. You know, that's my lasting legacy. It's very important to me, you know. And he you know, like in the end he wasn't really that supportive, you know. So I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come in this short space of time. I'm proud of myself right now in this moment because I'm a lot calmer. I don't blame myself anymore for his bad behavior, which I should never have blamed myself for in the first place. But I didn't know if I was to blame for anything of the stuff in the relationship, which I might still have had some things to do with me in the relationship. But because he lied and deceived me, and his word is just like can't be trusted, then I don't know what was actually my issue, especially when he was turning stuff around, making it my fault, which was not my fault in the first place. You know, turning it on me. It's like gaslighting, you know what I mean? So I have no sense of what actually was the case. Do you know what I mean? Because something that he accepted before, for example, my anxiety, was then used to blame, you know, for to blame me for his bad behavior and stuff like that. It was just not good. So, you know, I'm thankful for the experience, if you like, but not the bad stuff wasn't good. But I'm thankful that now my life has changed. You know, it's finally got me off dating sites, so I'm not wasting my time anymore. I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on my career. I'm focusing on my future. I'm focusing on my health and well-being. My health and well-being this year is a huge focus. I already decided at the beginning of the year it's a huge focus, but it's more of a focus now than ever before. You know, my emotional, my spiritual, my mental, my physical. All of this is very important for my health and well-being. You know, just changing my life, you know, decluttering, learning relationship skills, bettering myself. This is what life is all about. And I'm just so happy to be single again. I've started self-dating again as well, which is fantastic. Really happy with that. And so I just feel so good. At the moment, I'm feeling really good. I still have feelings for the guy. I still have love feelings somewhat for that guy. But I know the difference between, okay, I have some love feelings for you, but at the end of the day, you're not a good guy for me. And I'm glad that I'm single again, because I get my life back and my happiness back. And I get to be Sandra Bellamy again. The young bun, the young, fun teenager girl I was always born to be, and happy being single. I can do what I like when I like now. Don't have to answer to anyone. Can be myself, can praise myself, can love myself, and all that lot. I can give myself all the love and praise that he didn't give me, you know. And luckily, he didn't stop me thinking he didn't stop me from thinking I'm good looking. So I've worked on myself for years to love my looks. Even if people don't think I'm good looking, that's fine. I don't care, because I love the way I look, right? And I still think I'm attractive to myself because I've trained myself for years. And despite whatever he said, including telling me that he thought he's better looking than me, which is a complete joke, considering he takes it takes 5 minutes or more to pick a specific pose and like change it to be the best photograph ever to go on Instagram with whatever he does. I don't know if he uses filters or whatever. It takes him 5 minutes just to pick the exact pose needed to put on Instagram, because he can't even just put himself on there. Like a true good looking person doesn't have to stage things. They can just be themselves and take a photograph and look damn good, right? Like I can take a photograph and look damn good, in my opinion, right? Doesn't matter what other people think. I love myself, and I love the way I look, and I like wearing nice clothes. I like looking gorgeous for myself, so I'm feeling a lot more confident. I feel a lot better. I'm emotionally more regulated now. I'm more self-reliant again now, and I'm feeling good. And it's nice to have the support of the Love Life Club. I've used Matthew Hussey AI, Matthew AI it's called, and I have some really good conversation with Matthew AI, and that's like 24-hour coaching, and it's really good because it uses all Matthew's knowledge from his courses and expertise from his retreats and everything. So, I was talking to Matthew AI for 3 hours last night. So yeah, it's really good. So I'm just really excited for my future. I'm really excited and happy about what's going to happen in the next 12 months, because I'm getting out of my comfort zone, trying different things I would never have tried before. And, I think this is going to be really good for me. It's going to be way forward that I can change my life for the better, change myself for the better, just really drive myself forward and become a better person for myself and for others. I just really happy, and had this tragic love story. This tragic love story, but isn't tragic in the sense that I love myself more again now, and I'm going to be a better person for me. So it's all worked out. It's a happy ending for me in the end, So I'm feeling a lot more positive now. I'm feeling a lot more happy to be single. I think my life is more organized now. It's not chaotic anymore. Not because I wanted to be chaotic, but because, the way he lives his life in terms of like not lack of organization to me is chaotic. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just feel so much better because I realize now, what did I lose? I lost a lot of crap in my life, a lot of heavy burden. I lost a lot of anxiety. I lost a lot of stress. I lost a lot of unhappiness. I lost, well, I was losing a bit of my sense of self, I think, with him, to say the least. So I'm just happy, like I deserve a guy who'll pay me attention and be interested in what I have to say. I deserve a guy who won't lie to me. I deserve a guy who won't deceive me. I deserve a guy who's honest. I deserve a guy who's not mind manipulating me to get what he wants. I deserve a guy who's consistent and persistent and who's loving and giving, who's understanding about my anxiety, not just the beginning, but always. I deserve a guy who's good for me. And I deserve to be happy being single. I can tell you, I do love being single because, I've got far less worries, far less stress. I can do what I want when I want. I can stay up late without having to worry about someone else's time schedule, timetable. I have lots more hours to do my work now because I'm not spending 3 hours video calling him, which he wasn't even appreciative in the end of anyway. And, and I can appreciate myself and I can progress my life and I can succeed and be much more successful. Just imagine how much better I'm going to be as a person after all this. The Love Life Club, learning from a dating relationship coach with 17 years experience, learning practical relationship skills for like the next year. It's just incredible. My life's never going to be the same again in a good way. The pain has been so bad this time that it's forced me to change, reinvent myself again, reinvent my life, and I'm happy. It's long overdue and needed. I needed to kick up the ass in my own way. I don't like using that phrase because I used to say to him that I'll give him a kick up the ass when he was misbehaving, but it was kind of like I said that in a fun, jokey way, but meant it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but I just loving being single again. I'm loving being happier, being me. I'm loving, relying on me, and my emotions have calmed down so much, so I'm feeling much better than I was, because when your emotions are all over the place, it's not healthy, it's not good. It's just like, but you can't really, if you're with someone who's deceiving you, lying to you, don't know where you stand with them, they're disorganized, they're unreliable, they're not respecting your time or your worth, and you're just up and down, 1 minute super into you, the next minute not, it's going to make you anxiety induced and stressed out. So it's going to make anyone like that, whether they got an anxiety condition or not. So it's just good to not be on that roller coaster ride anymore. It's good to finally have a lot more stable emotions. It's good to finally be me again. It's good to finally be happy again. You know, I'm glad because it's been a whole month without him. And I wasn't actually in the relationship with him for a full month, even though it felt a lot longer because I've been on dating sites looking for my soulmate for over 10 years, well, for 10 years. And I thought he was the guy, but he wasn't, clearly not. You know, so it feels good that I've been single for longer than I have been in a relationship with him in the past. So this is a really positive thing, you know. So what can I say? Just the best life, isn't it? Best-selling author, international best-selling author. You know, I'm learning from one of the best dating relationship coaches in the world, who's got 17 years experience. You know, I'm just like learning so much dating relationship, actual practical skills. I've got no one lying to me anymore in my life, no one deceiving me, no one driving me absolutely crazy with being super into me one minute and like disinterested in me in the next. You know, like no one trying to play mind games and throw things back at me, and twist my mind. You know, I'm just like much happier, you know, and I'm happy being single. My emotions have calmed down. I realize I'm not responsible for their bad behavior. And, you know, there are things I can learn, like take my own advice. I should have taken my own advice in the beginning. You know, even with their dating profile, there was things I wouldn't like. For example, in his dating profile was looking for a serious relationship or casual relationship. And what advice have I given to you on this channel that I didn't take myself? That if you see that in someone's profile, it usually means they don't know what the hell they want because it contradicts it. Like it's contradictory. So you shouldn't really approach someone like that and speak to them even, because there's no point, because it's just completely contradictory. Casual relationships are complete opposite to long-term serious relationship. And I did go against my own advice. They did logic it out. So they did say, oh, every relationship's casual until you get serious. But I don't think there was anything casual about me and him from the beginning, to be honest. So yeah, not much anyway, in a very short space of time, I would say. So anyway, you know, there's things I need to learn, like as in take my own advice. But, you know, like a lot of us don't take our own advice. We give advice to other people in life and we don't take it ourselves. Even if it's really excellent advice, you know, it's not just me who's guilty of this, but there's other people as well. But yes, I should have taken my own advice. But I do believe everything happens for a reason. I'm glad I tried to have a relationship with that person because I thought it was going to be good, but it just didn't turn out that way for me. And it's just brought up a lot of trauma. It's very traumatizing because if you're with someone who lies to you, deceives you, gives you false hope and a false sense of security, it feels like they've pulled the rug from underneath your feet and you're like, what the F went on? And especially when there's been some mind manipulation as well, you didn't completely, you didn't want to admit that to yourself, you know? So, you know, like, to have like clarity now, to be awakened to the whole situation, the reality of the situation, it just makes me feel so much better and more in control. And obviously being very proactive with my life nowadays, taking control of my life, taking control of, you know, like learning more about relationships, because clearly I have some gaps in my knowledge, you know, and I need to improve myself. There is still work I need to do on myself. Then it just makes my life better because I'm being more productive. I'm learning more skills. I'm taking more action. I love the fact I'm an action taker and not just a talker. I love that about me. My ex did say, oh, you know, I need motivation because I've got all these ideas, but don't put any of them into action, basically. I mean, he did put some into action, but a lot of it he didn't. And it's like, I don't need that. I don't need someone telling me what to do. I don't need someone motivating me. I motivate myself, you know, to get on with things and take action and do things and make things happen in my life. And I'm proud of that. I am so proud of myself. I'm proud that actually I was the one who entered that relationship. I was the one who sent the official text to say I'm ending it because he couldn't be asked. I have the courage to do that. I have the guts to do that. And in the end, it was kind of weird because one of the things he said was, oh, I'd be worried that you'd be splitting up with me in 6 months. So clearly he knew that he wasn't a good guy for me and I wasn't happy. Do you know what I mean? If he even thought that, I'd like, why would you think that if everything was happy, but it wasn't happy and he knew it wasn't happy and he said that he would make things better, but instead he just deleted his whole Facebook without warning, telling me that I like to live in the real world. It's like, well, I do live in the real world. I'm not the one who takes 5 minutes to find a pose for Instagram because, like, it has to be the exact look that I think everyone will like. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And, like, he did have an online relationship with someone for 8 or 9 months, asked someone to marry him that he never even met in real life. I am real life. I'm here. But yes, I use social media as a tool, and so does he. Women use social media. He made out that he's not into social media. He uses WhatsApp for all his family and friends. I found him on Facebook dating, which is a social media. And I remember in one of his dating profiles, he put, I post memes. Posting memes means you post them to social media. So clearly you take part in social media. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, anyway, just because he wasn't that into Facebook, because I am. And I'm all over social media, and he knew that. I'm not stopping being all over social media for him. And you know what I mean? It's weird because he was okay to be on my social media, but didn't want me on his. It's very bizarre. And he lied, because when I first had my first video date with him, he said he was fine. He was happy. I said, are you the type of person that likes posting you and your partner on social media? And he said, yes. So it wasn't like I even didn't ask him that. I asked him and he agreed. He said he did. This is just lying, wasn't he? So anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to expel my energy on him anymore, right? Because at the end of the day, the relationship didn't work in the end. And so I am not interested in, having anything more to do with him. I'm not gonna, like, I just want us to, like, stay apart, and that's the best thing for us. So I'm happy that I've got my life back. I'm happy that I do notice other guys now are good looking. Like, I'm not going after a ton of guys or anything like that, but I do notice other guys that are good looking, which is good for me. And, like, I'm young, free and single, aren't I? Again, which is great. I've got my confidence back. I'm much more confident as a single person anyway. Much more, because I can just be myself. I'm reliable for myself. I'm trustworthy for myself. I'm honest for myself. I love myself. I love the way I look. I can dress great for myself. I can be productive. I can get so much done. I'm calming my own nervous system down. I'm filling my head with positive affirmations in the morning, reprogram my mind for happiness and success. I'm becoming more self-reliant, much more self-reliant again now. Regulating my own emotions again. It's just a much better life for me, and I'm so proud of myself for how far I've come in this month, because I didn't think I'd be at this stage right now where I'm actually really happy being single again. Really happy being single. I didn't think I'd be that way. On the third week, I never thought I'd be feeling this way, but I'm glad I am. I'm glad I'm self-dating again. I'm glad I'm being romantic with myself. Like, oh, let's have a date, Sandra. Love you, baby. I'm so busy every day. I've got loads of stuff like that, So had coaching tonight with Matthew and his wife, training yesterday. So it's just all really good, really, really good. And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the person I've become again. And, and it's good to have the support of my best friend. They've been good as well and very reassuring. And it's just nice to have reassurance that everything's going to be okay. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. For some reason, my screen's been blank the whole time as black, so I hope you've been able to see me okay. If you haven't, I hope you've been able to hear me okay. And I'll see you soon on the next video live stream. Lots of love. Bye.